What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be playing Front Office Football 9. We're starting a new playthrough series. This one will be with the Buffalo Bills. It's actually my favorite NFL team. So yeah, we'll see. I may not do things as well as Brandon Beane, but I do fancy myself a sim GM sports game, as you guys know. For those of you that have watched our series with Football Coach College Dynasty, had a lot of fun over the last couple months playing that. I think, first of all, it's not in its 1.0 version yet, so I think I want to wait till the full version is actually released before continuing on with that game. But at the end of the day, I think the pro football realm is just a little bit more my speed. I get to mess around with contracts. I like drafting. And I think this game is it's from what I've heard, it's a lot more realistic. About probably the best pro American football sim that you're going to get out there of the last 20 years, from what I've heard. There's a lot of people that are diehards of this game. So yeah, I'm super excited to get into it, and I don't want to make you guys wait any further. Let's do this thing. All right. We are about to start the season. It's August 6th here, okay? So I'm inheriting the Bills of 2023 as we know it. So let's just take a look at the roster and see how realistic this is here. Okay, so Josh is like a 51. Just so you know, this game is on the 0 to 100 scale. So they have Josh as slightly above average. So this will be really interesting because I believe we still have, this is not exactly Josh's real contract. Maybe at the time it was. Oh no, yeah, cap cost. Okay, so this is realistic here. I was ignoring the bonuses. Yeah, so this is Josh's real contract, except he's not a top 3 quarterback in the league. He's actually let's actually take a look here. You guys are gonna have to bear with me here because I'm still. This is literally kind of my first time playing this game, so let's look at positional strengths for actually, you know what? I think it would be league overview, player info. Well, anyways, you guys get the point. So we are absolutely we have an above average quarterback with Josh here. They have Dawson Knox as a really good tight end. Spencer Brown's a really good. They got him starting at left tackle, and they got Dawkins starting at right. And it looks like Dawkins still has potential to get better. Torrance at guard. Right now he's kind of below average, but he has some solid potential to be an average player. Morse still in there as the starting center, who's actually one of our best players, maybe our best player. Yeah, Morse is our best player by far. The defense is looking pretty nice though. Russo is really good and still has potential to grow. Poona Ford is starting D tackle with Daquan Jones, and Von Miller is going to be serviceable still, at least with his contract. That's going to be a big help. Milano, pretty good. Our other linebackers, much to be desired. And then we have Taron Johnson, who's really good, or pretty good. Kyer Elam starting, okay. And then Dane Jackson, Rappenpoyer at safety, Trent Sherfield in the slot. Where's Diggs at? Okay, they got Gabe Davis better than Diggs. Okay, Ed Oliver not starting for some reason. We got Daquan Jones in there. It feels like Ed Oliver should be starting, and it also feels like Leonard Floyd should be starting. But maybe once we get into training camp, some things will get switched around. By the way, guys, I'm being the GM here. I'm letting the AI handle all the coaching stuff. So that's how I like to do things. Because like that's kind of like realistic. Like the GM doesn't coach. The GM doesn't really set the depth chart. So yeah, I'm just gonna be up in the box here, making roster moves and assessing the financials as best I can, and then going from there. So yeah, playbook deadlines today. That's not gonna concern us, but I think I do want to look at our salary cap report just to see. Okay, so we're the only team that's like over the cap right now, but we're also the only team that hasn't cut down to 60 quite yet. So let's assess how we can do that. We get a look at our contracts here. I want to see who's ending in 2024. So we've got a lot of defensive tackles that are like on the books to end their contract this season, at the end of this season. So I feel like that's a good starting point. We can clear some good money by getting rid of Micah Hyde, who is our backup safety right now. Let me actually take a look at get back to our basic information here and look at our starting lineup. We got this thing sorted by our starters and then our current player value right now. So I can kind of see like, okay, like Aitman, or like even lower than that, like Kyron Brown would probably be an inactive player for us. Jamarcus Ingram, who actually has popped up this year, for those of you that are paying attention. Alec Anderson got potential. Eli Anku. Like, let's look at this by position group. That's probably the better way to do this. So we have like Damian Harris, who's a potential cut. We have 4 tight ends. Joel Wilson and Quentin Morris have some pretty good potential though, so like that's interesting. And then Kincaid, obviously. We might want to keep 4 tight ends. I think you have to keep 3 quarterbacks in this, so we'll keep Shane Buccelli, I believe is how you pronounce that. Sherfield in the slot. Shakir. We got him as split end. That's the X. Gabe is the X. Diggs the flanker. Shorter, who's got potential. And then Shavers and Aitman down here. Deontay Hardy. Okay. We have 3 centers right now. Greg Mance. Okay. We do want to keep some good depth, obviously. So, but like keeping 3 centers seems a little bit absurd. We can probably get rid of Mance, but we also got to keep in mind that we have to, chop about 12 million off of our cap here. So we have a couple of backup tackles here. Looks like Vandemark can grow into something. He's a rookie. So like maybe, maybe a Jermaine Afidi or something like that. Our D-line is really deep right now. Probably more deep than it has to be. Same thing with our middle linebackers. There's probably going to be a couple cuts there. Maybe Metakevich. Let's see what Metakevich is working with here. Yeah, he's on a 1-year salary. We can cut him and save about 500K. Let's just do that right away. Gonna mess around with that. Kyron Brown. Not much potential there. He went undrafted, and we can save about $1 million with him. So there's 2 players right off rip. We do have, yeah, we have a lot of corners. Jamarcus Ingram, undrafted. He's got a little potential to grow, but I probably feel pretty comfortable letting him rock. And we can save $750 on him. So now we have what, 7 corners? That still seems like pretty high to me. And Tre'Davious White not even in the starting lineup. What's his deal? I wonder what we can get for Trey on the trade market. I know this is something the Bills. No, the Bills cut him actually. Yeah, like we could save a few mil. So what would happen if we cut him? This will reduce your salary cap figure 10 mil this year. We'll save 10 mil, but we'll count 10 his next couple of bonuses against next year's cap. So we don't want to release him necessarily, but if we can grab a couple draft picks for him, I think that'll like maybe work out in that favor. We may want to think about kind of doing what the Bills ended up actually doing this year, which was stacking some cap hits over the next couple, like dead cap hits over the next couple seasons. We do have Saran Neal on contract, pretty cheap one for the next couple of years. And it looks like he's going to do just about as good a job as Trey White will. And we can save that money on Trey. Got our backup safeties here. Okay, yeah, we need to do something with our D line here. Like Eli Anku, he's 5 years in, and we haven't seen much. Let's save the mill there. Kingsley Jonathan. We're like almost unnecessarily deep at D end. Leonard Floyd is on a cheap 1-year contract. He could maybe be a nice trade piece where we have Epinesa, who's a younger player, probably somebody that will want to sign on after this year. Kendall Vickers, Kingsley Jonathan. That seems like a nice way to save 870 there. But yeah, maybe a Floyd trade is in the works. We're also unnecessarily deep at D tackle. Jones, Greg Rousseau. Cam Klein's got some potential to grow into like a nice backup. But on a 1-year deal. Let's maybe see Ed Oliver. We have signed to some big money, so he's somebody that we're probably going to have to keep around in order not to put ourselves under. So it's going to be either Jordan Phillips or Daquan Jones that we probably want to move on from. Daquan Jones, we could save 5 mil. Daquan Jones and then Jordan Phillips, we could save a couple. Yeah, so maybe we sell Daquan Jones if we can. I don't know. I don't feel good about these guys hitting their potential, closing in on their 9th and 10th years. That seems a little far-fetched. So let's see what we can get for Daquan Jones and maybe Trey White in the trade market to pick up a couple extra picks. And then we'll reassess where we're at here. So let's see. Who'd we say? Trey White. No interest in Trey White right now. Might be a contract thing. The other one was... I think, well, Jordan Phillips was one of them. The other one was Daquan Jones, right? No interest for either of them. It's a shame. potentially as we get moving forward here, we still have to cut like five players. Yeah, let's maybe run to before the Indianapolis game. All right, so it stopped us at game day prep because we have to make 5 more cuts now. Okay. So let's kind of see where training camp brought us to here. See if any values changed. Trey White's solid at a 41 here. Siran Neal solid at a 39. Let's see. Benford down here to 27. Future value. Yeah, I mean, let's like revisit that trade headquarters here. And see if Jordan Phillips, no. Daquan Jones at a 52, no. And Trey White, no. No interest in any of them. Okay. Marcel Aitman is probably someone that we want to get rid of. Let's get one last check on, whoops. Salary cap report here. So we need to cut about 6 mil. Oh, it's, yeah, I mean, Trey White. I think we might have to part ways here. It's a lot of cap to stack against next season, but we can I think we can figure out a way around it. We can maybe like restructure or something, but I just don't think he's going to be valuable enough to trade at this point. So we'll cut Trey White. That puts us at, all right, so we're under the cap now, and we need to cut 3 more players. Might just I might just stick with, let's see. So we got Vaughn. Vaughn's actually looking pretty good. Russo's looking like a hit. We have 2 really solid DNs behind those guys. So maybe maybe a Shaq Lawson is somebody who we part ways with, and we can save about $1 million there. I don't think we'll really be needing his services. We're pretty deep up front. Same thing probably with Tim Settle. Like I'm interested in staying really deep at D tackle. I'm not sure why Ed Oliver isn't starting quite yet, but because he seems to be a good deal better than Daquan Jones. But you know what? That's okay. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think we'll keep Cameron Klein on as like a developmental player, and let's part ways with Tim Settle here. This will save us a couple mil. Just about. And then we're at 61. Probably want to cut one more receiver, and it's looking, I mean, Tyrell Shavers is a rookie, so maybe we give him a little time. Thinking it's going to be probably Deontay Hardy or Isabella. Not a lot of depth past those guys. We do have Shakir, who looks like he could grow into something, maybe shorter. But yeah, it's probably going to be Hardy. And we can save a few mil. We'll be tacking on $1 million against next year's cap with Hardy, though. So that is something to think about. Maybe it's Isabella. Yeah, that seems like a pretty clean release. Let's go with Isabella instead. All right, we're gonna have to make some more cuts as we approach the end of the summer. But I have my eye on Greg Mance. Couple backup left tackles. We'll see how Vandemark and Tommy Doyle come along. Yeah, let's run until after the Indianapolis game. Looks like Quentin Morris, bruised rib cage, 3 weeks. All right, and then Dane Jackson, 7 weeks, partial rotator cuff tear. I think it makes a lot of sense to place him on the IR. Yep, let's do that. That'll save us a roster spot. Okay. So let's keep it moving. Runner before the Pittsburgh game, after the Pittsburgh game. Any other injuries? No, not necessarily. Of course, though, we was just thinking about this. We lost Dane Jackson after just making a big stink and dropping Trey White, but that's okay. All right, let's just keep simming along. All right, now we're stopped here, and let's see what's good with Kyle Allen. 1 week for a viral infection, he's fine. Quentin Morris, looks like Jermaine Afidi picked up a sprained PCL. Okay. And that's all we have on the injury front right now. So we have to cut about 6 more players, I think, because we have 1 guy on injured reserve. So let's go ahead and figure that out. James Cook seems like he should be the starter, but that's okay. Damian Harris, let's see. Damian Harris is a possible one. I want to keep these tight ends. Joel Wilson's got a little potential. Tyrell Shavers seems his future value seems to keep growing a little bit. Deontay Hardy actually increased his future value a little bit as well. Greg Mance also increased his future value. Bates at backup center. We do have David Edwards as our backup guard. He can play a little center if we need him to. So I'm thinking maybe is Ryan Bates is really just, he can play a little guard, but like he's mostly just a center. What is his contract like? Oh, okay, like he would save us a good deal on the cap. So he's, maybe we can trade him. That leaves us a little short on line depth. Jermaine Afidi, obviously out for 3 weeks, and I don't know. I mean, he's 8 years into the league now. He was a first rounder in 2016. Yeah, I mean, this one seems like an easy cut, but what's our tackle depth look like? We have a couple. I mean, both these guys play right tackle too? Yeah, like Tommy Doyle can play right tackle. Yeah, I think Afidi makes sense. He's definitely a better right tackle, but like I just think it makes sense to get rid of him. He's already hurt anyway. If you release this player, you will save 1 mil. This is just your cap figure. His contract will count 320 against next year? Really? Oh, this player will accept an injury settlement. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's interesting. Maybe we'll think about that. I don't want to throw him on IR because it's only a 3 week injury. That's a tough one. We'll have to think about that. Um, yeah, the other one I'm looking at is Bates here. Oh, Osiris Torrance actually, his potential got up to 68. That's really good. Yeah, because David Edwards is in here and he could play. He could play a little bit. Alec Anderson, still a rookie. I want to give him some time. You know, he was undrafted. AJ Epinesa and Leonard Floyd. I feel like one of these guys can get cropped. Probably going to be Floyd. Let me see if we can do that. Floyd and Ed Oliver should be starting. Maybe we could trade Jones, Daquan Jones. Yeah, all right. Let's Daquan Jones, Jordan Phillips, Leonard Floyd. Quan Jones, no. Jordan Phillips, no. Leonard Floyd isn't on here. I'm not sure why. He's untradeable. All right. Hmm. Middle linebacker, Terrell Bernard, second year guy. We got to give him his time, I think. It's Chris Kirksey here. Hmm. We're only playing one middle linebacker, you know, so we got Balen Spector as like a backup weak side. I don't know if Kirksey's gonna have any trade market. Apparently not, because he's not even on here. So okay, we have 6 corners. Dane Jackson's injured. That seems fine. Yeah, I think it really just comes down to like we gotta figure out somebody to cut here from the defensive line probably. It feels like how is Puna Ford so good? I was still not over that. Um, oh goodness, a lot of young. Oh, Greg Mance is 8 years in though. He can't get much better than that. Yeah, I think let's send Mance out first. It's just down to 58. Harris, we got Naheem Hines here. We could save some decent money on Hines too. Harris is a lot cheaper. Yeah, I think it makes sense to cut Hines. Let's do that. Um, 57. Okay. Yeah, Shaver's a rookie here, undrafted. Hardy looks like he may have a little juice to him, but we got to cut one of these receivers. We can't keep 7 receivers. And we're gonna save the most money here with Hardy, but well, we'll also, you know, 1 million dead versus 0 here. Got a couple of flankers, a split. Or do we just move on from Trent Sherfield and see if Justin Shorter can prove himself? Or like Khalil Shakir maybe? Yeah, let's do that. Let's trust in our young guys here. Let's get Sherfield out of there. Who moves into the starting slot? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see after that. But somebody's gonna have to start in the slot. I think that's the right move. Let's get our young guys up there. I want to keep Shavers on the roster just to see what we got there. He's undrafted. He's a rookie. We still feel a little heavy at tackle here. We probably got to get rid of somebody. I really want it to be Jermaine Afidi, and maybe we just eat that injury settlement, 320K, which will count against next year's cap. That's so petty. Whatever. I'm just gonna do it. I mean, you know, that is what it is. That allows us to keep Alec Anderson, undrafted rookie from last year. Give him a chance. See what our scouts think of him. Kendall Vickers, little undrafted rookie here. We still feel heavy on the D line here, and we maybe want to think about getting rid of linebacker as well because we're just really heavy there. Dodson has turned into something nice. Kirksey, 10-year pro. Do we need him? Do we need Kirksey? Hmm. Might just be time to cut Jordan Phillips here. Either that or we cut Daquan Jones. And just hope that they put Ed Oliver in there at our right. This is our starting right D tackle spot, and that's what Daquan Jones, or that's what Ed Oliver is. Our coaching staff's got to see that and make the upgrade, right? I think I'm going to force their hand here. Let's just save the 5 mil. Yeah. Tough decisions here. I think we still need to... Yeah, we have one. All right, so they move Shorter into the slot. They move Jordan Phillips into tackle. Why did they do that? I'm so confused. It's like a weird prove it thing. Damn you, Sean. We should look at our staff real quick just to see. Oh, Sean's loaded. All right, that's great. He's a really good coach. Dorsey Dorsey's actually really good. Smart, disciplined, good developer. The play calling, obviously, though, that's where, that's pretty realistic. Okay. Al Holcomb as our D coordinator. Smart, good scouter, good play caller. Okay. Eric Washington, defensive line. He's assistant coach. Good player developer. Yeah, pretty solid across the board. And Ciano, good conditioner. Strength training is not really there. We might want to look for anyone after the season. All right, cool. All right. Enough messing around here. We got 4 tight ends. Some young tight ends here. We got to cut one more player here, I think. So might be Kirksey. Kirksey might just be the guy. We still have a lot of DNs though. Kendall Vickers here. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna re-sign this guy. Let's just stick with the really good depth up front there. All right, cool.